the prior segment video-wise. So you can still watch all those. They just don't stream live anymore.
And I put them in a playlist, so it's nice and easy to watch them in order.
Look at that.
And really
pops.
Sometimes it's frustrating because some people, they don't quite understand how YouTube works.
Now, how is that?
Well, in that it's
been around for a while.
It's been around for a while, and I try to clean up our page so that if you go to the main Alan Cox Show page on YouTube, it is the first row of all the videos is all the videos in a playlist.
Mm-hmm. In order. Sequential.
So you'll just go in and go, okay, there's the date I'm looking for, and I can just watch through that playlist, and they'll autoplay. I feel like it's pretty simple, but
you're talking about people that go directly to our YouTube page, our YouTube channel?
No, they're like trying to search for it every day, or trying to search for each segment, but
you just go to AlanCoxShow.com.
AlanCoxShow.com, or they'll go to YouTube and they'll search for whatever segment. I don't know. I don't know what they're doing, but there's a lot of people that are still confused by it, and I just want them to but I feel like there's a lot of things like that where people need help, but they don't even know how to go about it. So I try to make it as clear as possible. And I try to mention it and from time to time. But then there's also people that I think they just like using us as their Google. Because I'll get people like, what's the phone number? I'm like, it's on every page on the website. Like, it's in every description of the show. It's,
I say it 4 billion times a day. But listen, people have lives to lead.
I understand, but that's why I try to make it as... But we have a show to do, so when people are asking me these very simple things, I'm like, I'm not gonna. If you can't figure out,
I can't hold your hand during this.
I don't know if I want your phone call. That's kind of what
I'll take it. Don't worry about it.
Well, they got to figure it out on that. You got to be a little bit,
Got to be a go-getter.
You got to figure things out.
Well, listen, I'm happy to give whatever information I can.
Now there is a new feature on YouTube where people can cut up clips from episodes, so you can make a little 30-second clip out of the videos that we post. So
other people can do that?
Yeah.
Would that make us say things out of context, or how would that work? That seems borderline dangerous.
Probably, I don't know. But yeah, I don't know if it's for all videos. It might be. Oh yeah, so just go to clip, and then you can do a little edit and drag a little thing and make it up to, I think you can make it up to a minute long.
Okay.
And you can...
So there's going to be people posting videos of me saying, I like wieners and stuff like that, or...
Well, but they can also... they can do that anyway. If they wanted to. I'm just saying...
They couldn't, Bill, because I never say the words I like and wieners in quick succession. I never say those 3 words together.
You never say what 3 words together?
I never say I like and wieners. I never say those together. They would really have to go through...
Out the and?
I never say
you're saying 4 words.
I never say... here's the words I never say. Mm-hmm. I like wieners. I never say those. So, boy, you'd have to be somebody that was really, really adept at editing, at all kinds of stuff on YouTube. So... I'm not worried about that at all. Take it from me. I'll be just fine.
That is a word that gay men have a lot of words for penis, but that is one word I don't think I've ever heard a gay man use.
Yay! Well, it's very mature, and it's also, there's nothing sexy about it.
Nothing at all.
Nobody would ever say, I want to see your wiener.
Exactly. Take out your wiener. I would be like, oh my God, I'm going to prison. No.
Right.
That's just
you'd run out to your car and you would take off.
That's a straight guy thing or a teenager thing.
I don't think straight guys, no one over the age of 8 should be saying that anyway.
She has to see my wiener.
I have a bit where my mom sees a wiener and so I think it's funny for that being a word that my mom would use. She wouldn't say any of the other words.
She wouldn't be anatomically correct?
She wouldn't say penis even. I think wiener would be what she'd go to.
Bite off his penis.
Although she has been known to, every once in a while, slip up and go way too
vulgar
with the language. I shouldn't even tell this story, but one time she was with my ex-wife and my sister, and she heard some story about a guy that was putting cameras in bathrooms, and she said something like, "Oh, he just wants to see ladies," and then she dropped the C.
Wow. Not coochie, I assume.
No.
Oh,
no.
she went all in.
She went way too far.
That sounds like somebody who doesn't realize what a heavy word that is.
And I think that's exactly what it was.
Wow.
I think she was trying to show off a little bit in front of
my
ex-wife.
And she doesn't have the miles on her. She doesn't have the years behind her. She doesn't know.
It's like when a kid's trying to swear to impress like the older kids, and then you like don't even know what you're saying. And that's kind of, I think, the situation that went on there.
Right.
I used to think
and she was probably met with just wide-eyed glances from everybody that she was with.
Like, my ex-wife told me that story immediately. She's like, guess what Susan just said?
I used to think it was my mom would treat me with being able to say ass talking to my brother. Like, so if she was like, I need your brother to get home now, she's like, call him and tell him to get home. And I'm like, can I tell him to get his ass home? And she's like, you can tell him to get his ass home. And so I was like, ooh, I'm going to call over to his friend's house.
She opened Pandora's box,
I'm like,
she?
Ryan, Mom says to get your ass home now.
Great ass.
And he's like, I'm telling you. I was like, she told me I could say it, dumbass. She's like, all right, that's enough.
Yeah, you're great ass. She opened Pandora's box. She didn't know what she was doing, or she did. I remember the first time I told a joke, because my mom and I like my mom tell jokes and things. And I remember I told her a joke that had shrimp in it, the SH word. And she didn't get upset. And I was like, this is great. This is awesome. My mom's she doesn't really curse. My parents aren't cursers. It's not for any religious reasons. It's just not their thing. My mom swears to this day that she has never uttered the F word. I don't know if that's true. I have no reason, I guess, to not believe her. I've certainly never heard her say it. But, you grow up Catholic or whatever, and we just didn't hear a lot of that kind of language in our house. So when I got to say that, unimpeded for the first time, I was on cloud 9. But I did the same thing Poundcake did. I went to
it was
throwing
so
it around all the
exciting.
time.
Yeah, and then she's like, all right, we got to reel that back in.
Yeah.
Yeah, my mom and we had a moment where I was not holding on to my language, and she's like, you got to stop swearing around me. It's so upsetting. And so I make the effort to not swear around her because it wasn't even like she was mad. She was like, it just hurt her. Like, she's like, it makes her feel like a bad mom.
You were getting too comfortable around her with it.
See,
and she was not a fan.
It was just the way that I was speaking, and she didn't like it, so she asked me not to use it, so I will never intentionally swear around her.
Of course.
It's a respect factor for me. Like, my mom probably wouldn't stop. Now that I'm grown, she wouldn't stop me. But, like, in my early 20s, she probably would have said something. What I don't get is, one, what, bitch? I don't like when my friends swear in front of my mom, and then I feel weird swearing in front of somebody else's mom. Because I have friends, my white friends, they curse in front of their mom. They're like sailors. And
I think it's just kind of rude.
I think it is rude. And then, like, they expect me
even
to
if
do
they don't
it.
care.
Like they'll talk about something gay in front of their parents. I'm just like, they're like, oh no, my mom's liberal as hell, or blah, and then they'll just get into all the salacious stuff. They're like, this is nothing you don't talk about on the radio. I'm like, yeah, I expect them to listen to the radio. I don't want to talk about it in front of your mom.
Yeah, I'm not doing a show for your mom right now.
Oh my God.
Everyone that practices sodomy from the day of this message will get cancer in the butthole.
Now
it'll burn and burn and burn.
I'm a little bit that way with my kids where I don't care if they swear, but when they use slang with me, I'm not upset about it. I'm like, I don't know what you're saying.
Oh, you're such an old man.
But I am. So why?
But also, slang moves so quickly that you can't always be on top of every single thing.
Right. So I try to understand as best I can.
Especially since it's entirely irrelevant to big life. It's entirely irrelevant if you're up on slang.
Like when bet came around, my kids were using that all the time.
Bet.
And I would just be very confused. They'd respond to a text with bet, and I'd be like, I don't know what bet means.
I just like throwing around old-timey slang with people. Well, holy cats. Did you see that?
Holy cats is great.
Holy cats, fantastic.
But you'll at least understand the context of it.
Yeah, it's true.
But bet, when they first started using it, it didn't make any sense to me, so I didn't understand what they were saying.
My older daughter, Gwen, made fun of me because my older daughter had posted, she had gone out to the beach or somewhere. They live in Michigan. She'd gone to South Haven or something with some friends over the weekend and posted some photos on Instagram. And she had like this bright orange nail polish. And I left a comment and I wrote, "That polish," and then a fire emoji. And I didn't really think anything of it. And Gwen goes, "Really?" She goes, "Nothing's cooler than when your dad leaves a fire emoji." I'm like, "Why?" It didn't even occur to me. Like, I wasn't,
You're just trying to be complimentary. You're like, "Hey,
complimentary.
that looks good.
That's right.
Good for you."
And I've fallen prey to that, I think, less than some other parents might, just because, like, I'm 50, but, like, I'm not an accountant, I'm kind of in showbiz, like I kind of have a cool job, and so I keep my ear to the ground with things that are going on. Like I've turned them on to a lot of things that they weren't completely familiar with either, and so I don't feel so weird about it. But you also don't want to be the guy leaving weird comments on "you look so beautiful." Like I would never do that, But I didn't think anything of it, and Gwen was really like, "Really?" And I go, "I don't know. I was being nice." That's how people talk now. Even adults, people talk in pictures. Emojis, right? It's just hieroglyphics. The fewer words people have to type out, the happier they are. I used one. Didn't want it to be an issue. I couldn't help but think of...
What you should do is use a lot more and just say, "Daughter, this is your father. I would like to express my appreciation for the color of your nail polish. I think it is a very wonderful color, and it accentuates the beauty that you have, and I appreciate it as a, in a fraternal way."
In a fraternal way. Yeah. Well, I'm not her brother, but I mean, I'll take your point.
Paternal. I'm sorry, paternal.
But I think that, I'm taking her to Billie Eilish on Saturday in Detroit.
William.
And William Eyelash is performing there. And I have half a mind to make her wear... I want to make us wear matching tour shirts at the Billie Eilish show. Go to the merch table.
No, not even merch tables. You should
homemade
show
Billie
up with
Eilish shirts.
Homemade Billie Eilish shirts that are real corny.
Yeah.
And like
puffy paint.
Yeah.
Puffy
paint.
I heart you, William Eyelash. Is what I'm going to put on my T-shirt.
Yeah, like a nice dad joke shirt, and then she's got one that matches, and you're like, yeah, I bought the tickets.
Yep.
Yeah, you got me a favor.
So we'll see. But that should be quite an event. I couldn't help but think of Poundcake, by the way, because God, what precipitated this? Oh, I found some old photos, and one of them was of me and my my friend Jim, who passed away some years ago, but he was my co-host when I was on in Chicago. And I found some photos of us in our office. And my show there was, I guess I moved back in 06, so between 06 and 09. But I was constantly sent pornography by a variety of companies. And so my office just had stacks and stacks of companies who would still send DVDs. But they also sent us a handful of things that I assume we were supposed to give away, but nothing ever materialized. And so they were just sitting on this file cabinet. These things, do you remember the Fire TV boxes? I don't know if they still make them. FYRE. It was called Fire TV. And it was a streaming box that just streamed porn.
Oh, I don't know.
Oh, I do. I remember hearing
They
about
probably
those.
came out about 15 years ago.
I never had one or saw one, but I did hear about it.
So we had these Fire boxes. I never took one home and hooked it up because it's whatever.
Because by then there was also pornography on the internet. So porn on your TV wasn't all that intriguing.
I guess, but also, like I said, we had stacks of DVDs.
Yeah.
I could have just taken one home and popped it in and whatever. But I'm looking at this photo, I'm like, I couldn't help but think Poundcake would have been about 12 or 13 around this time, and he would have been able to sell the hell out of all these porn DVDs.
Stopping my paper. Stopping my hustle.
If only I'd known you'd been alive. If only I'd known that was the hustle you had going on at school, I could have mailed these. Hey, you're not going to meet me for another decade. What?
What did they have on the actual disc? Because I didn't sell with any cover or anything like that. It was a blank disc.
Well, they were all shrink-wrapped copies of porn films on DVD. They weren't open.
You could have sold those as like premium content.
Premium. That's
No,
right.
because that's how you get caught. Like
Yours were burned DVDs.
Yeah,
right?
that's what I'm saying. They
They were discreet. Yeah.
They looked like burned CDs. Yeah. So
I mean, you could have taken these out and put them in like CD jewel cases and sold them. You just would have had to have removed them from the
And the anxiety
clamshell, if you will.
But like
because I did that with some DVDs. I had like a Playboy DVD that I put into a case and just put it in our CD collection. And I put it in one of my CDs, knowing that like my dad's not going to pull that one out. And
Like it was hiding in plain sight?
But it was hiding in plain sight, and it's one of those things where I'm like, all it takes is just him pulling out on the wrong day and knowing exactly. And then it's all over.
See,
Your pullout game is too strong.
I hid in plain sight too. The code phrase was, "Here, I made you a playlist." so I could play. So people, if a teacher walks by, like it. Oh, it's cute. He made him a playlist on his CD. In reality, like they was playing, but it wasn't on a list.
Hey, this is Boner Jam 6. I made you a playlist full of D's.
Here,
P's and the V's.
I remember
I made you a playlist.
a kid was doing that with zip drives.
Sure.
He was coming to,
Back when they were huge.
yeah, like a big old 100 megabyte zip drive full of naked, not even movies, just naked pictures. And he
God,
would,
that's the worst.
hey, it's
Pictures.
different times back then. We didn't have, you couldn't, nobody had fast enough internet to download
I was gonna say,
video.
You were waiting for things to
Yeah.
buffer.
when streaming was a thing, oh, it was a whole new world. Even on dial-up, because my mom was late to the game on everything. And she's like, I am missing every bill collector call because you guys are on the internet all the time.
Hey, we're doing you a favor, lady.
Why are you guys on the internet all damn day? And me and my brother like literally sitting there waiting for a 40-minute. It takes 4 hours for a 40-minute film to load. I'm like,
And she genuinely didn't know what you guys were doing.
no, my mom's not
Young teenage boys.
My brother was like computer savvy, like he was like the computer administrator, so I'm sure he knew what was going on, but she didn't. She didn't get on there as much as it is. Like
We download stuff overnight. And by we, I mean me. I would download stuff
I never
overnight.
download stuff.
Well, that was the only way you're going to get it. So I tried doing some, and it was a small grainy file, and it took hours and hours. And I would start to download at night, and then I would go down before my dad would wake up, and he gets up at like 5, so I'd be down there at like 4:30.
You had a whole operation going on.
But it was that's the way you had to do things, so you didn't get caught. Not that he never used the computer.
I was going to say,
But
he
I
probably
still-
wouldn't have found out anyway.
Right, but I still I was just trying to be as careful as I could.
Those were back in the days where I used to schedule my porn watching in fast
Oh
time.
yeah.
Because like I would get out of school at
It's a whole
2:30.
scam. You had a score going.
Well, I would get out of school at 2:30, and I would make it home by like 2:45, and I would have to be at work at 3. So I'm like, I got like 10 minutes here. I would already have it pulled up. I know which one I'm gonna go to, and I worked.
He had a Chinese acrobat curled up in a room service cart, jumping around the room.
Or maybe I got out of school at like 2:15.
One needle, le bone dry.
Yeah, but I would get it right before I went to work, and I would work my little 4-hour shift, and then I would come home.
Then it would be all downloaded for you.
No. I was streaming back then, but I would already know which I was
You
going to go to.
lucky kids.
Yeah,
know,
right?
You don't understand the
You don't know the hardship
of
waiting for a photo to buffer.
I had
Or-
it.
You got like a neck and half of a nipple.
you get a magazine, and then you don't even have the courage to hide it in your house, so you hide it in a wood pile in a plastic bag.
Hedge porn. Mm-hmm. Yep.
I had it booked.
And then you got to hope that another kid in the neighborhood doesn't find it, because they know, like, someone says, "Oh, I heard that he hides this stuff in a wood pile."
Yeah.
So then they go and get it.
That was my hollow tree.
Yeah.
4 paces to the left inside the forest.
Dude, that's so wild. The lengths we go to just to get.
You didn't go to any lengths. You
did.
You were streaming.
I still.
We had to hide our porn in a wood pile.
I still hit it.
Wood
Yeah.
piles and tree houses and
Not
things
only
like
that, there was another level because I was watching gay porn. So
That's true.
I
You
doubly
did
didn't
have
want to
that.
get caught.
Yeah.
I had to be really careful. Mm-hmm. My mom's like, "Oh my gosh, I'm not feeling well. I need to go to the ER." I'm like, "Oh, Mom, Oh, well, I hope everything goes okay. Wait, you're not coming? No. Well, not here. Not there.
Also, the stuff that I was watching then, it was so mild. It was a lot of very softcore stuff and a lot of just a girl getting naked while they dance, if that's like the video. And then, like, I wasn't into hardcore stuff at that time. That was too much for me. I couldn't even, like, I didn't want to see, like, penetration and stuff like that. I was just like, boobs will get me there and back a million times.
Yeah, baby steps.
Yeah.
Incrementally. Poundcake was making Fred Flintstone and Barney Rubble do stuff. I don't want anybody to find this out. Gotta hide in an empty log or something. Okay, I got a break. If you want to text for something, 35192, AlanCoxShow.com. You can hit us there, and we'll be back.